Hey everyone, I'm Vicky. I'm a mum of 2 little girls and I work full-time from home working for myself. So today's upload is going to be all about how I make money from home and all of my very best tips for how you can as well. So I'm going to be talking about the ways that I bring in income, how long it's taken me to get to this point, and just some advice for how you could do the same thing. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that you would do exactly the same thing as me, but I'm hoping that you can take inspiration from this and apply it to your own life and your own skills. And if working from home, working for yourself is something that you would like to do, then hopefully you can get some ideas from here. So first off, let me give you a little bit of background about me. So I was a full-time journalist for about 15 years and I started my blog, The Mummy Bubble, probably about 2017 when I was in my second maternity leave with my second baby. It was really just started as a hobby, but then I got made redundant from my journalism job, which obviously was like quite a hard time. But I saw it as an opportunity to make money from home for myself and spend more time with my kids. And the blog was already there, it just wasn't making money. So I thought, how can I do this? Because obviously I knew that other bloggers were making full-time income from their blogs. So I thought, how can I do this? How can I work for myself? How can I work from home? How can I make this work for me so that I can do the school run in the morning, the school run in the afternoon? I can spend time with my youngest daughter, who does do a little bit of nursery, but she's not in nursery every day full-time now. I really wanted to be able to just enjoy my family life as much as I could, but also bring in income because I need money to live. So the blog really was a springboard to allow me to do that. I've also got a few other things that I do as well. I'll talk about those in a minute, but they bring me in additional revenue. They kind of broaden my horizons a bit, so I don't just have all my eggs in the blogging basket, which is, I would say it's relatively stable for me at the moment, but it's not a guarantee that it will go on forever. I don't know when there might be a Google update that will, you know, stop sending Google traffic to that blog and then I would lose thousands of page views overnight. I don't know if and when that might happen. It could happen tomorrow. So I feel like it's important to kind of spread yourself out in multiple directions just in case like something stops working, so you've got some other sort of plates spinning that you can like turn to for help. With the blogging, I just want to sort of add, and I'm happy to do a video more about like starting a blog and what you need to do, but obviously my niche is parenting, babies, toddlers, and a little bit about cleaning and organising as well, for mums who work from home. But like your blog can be about anything. This is the amazing thing about blogging. Like over the years, I've just seen so many different niches of blog. Like I know someone who makes money from their blog, which is purely about sheds and building a shed in your home and what kind of shed you can do and how you can style it and all this type of stuff just about sheds. Obviously you've got recipe blogs, you've got interior decor blogs, you've got knitting blogs, crochet blogs, travel blogs. If you can think of a topic, there is a blog for that. There's always something that you can bring to blogging. It doesn't have to be about parenting. There's nothing it has to be about. It just kind of needs to be about something that you can speak with some authority and passion on. And as long as you've got that, you can just go for it. So that's one of the things that I love the most about blogging. Like anyone can start a blog. It's not particularly expensive and the benefits that you can reap from it, as I found, are just amazing. So the vast majority of my income at the moment, and I have to say this has fluctuated over the last 2 years since I've been really intentionally focused on making a full-time income from home, working for myself. But for the last year, my primary income has been my blog, my website, and the advertising that I have on that website. So I am with an ad agency called Mediavine. If you're already a blogger, you probably will have heard of it. If you're not, let me try and explain. So they place the adverts on my website, and in order to get into Mediavine, you have to have a certain level of traffic coming to your blog. So a certain number of people every single month visiting your blog to look at pages, look at content. So they are quite particular about who gets on there, gets to be a member of the agency. They are amazing. As I said, that is where most of my income comes from. I love working with them. They've given me so many tips for how to grow my blog. So in order to make money from adverts on my website, the key focus for me has to always be getting traffic to that website. So I focus on getting Google traffic, which means I make sure that all of my blog posts are just as much as possible set up, geared up to attract a Google audience. So what are people typing into Google that would bring them to my website? And I mean, that is a whole other video in itself, but I've got a lot of tips over on my second website, which I'll get to talking about in a minute, but that has a lot of tips about blogging and getting more Google traffic, like my very best tips. So if there's demand for a video on here about how I get more traffic to my blog, then I'm more than happy to do that. But what I'm thinking at the moment is that I want to sort of talk more generally about working from home, how you can do it, how it can help, how to balance finances when you're trying to like build yourself up to that kind of flexible work from home. The majority of my income comes from that Mediavine money. So I would say between 75 and 80% a month is coming from that. So I love that Mediavine like does so well for me. It's amazing, but at the same time, I'm very wary of earning money from just one place. You know, it's like when you work for yourself. Obviously, when you're employed by a company, like that's a whole other story. But when you work for yourself, things are a little bit more precarious. I don't know if tomorrow Mediavine will go. I don't know if tomorrow they'll tell me they don't want me in the agency anymore. Like, you know, there's no guarantees. Anything can happen. I love that I have that Mediavine income, but I'm constantly thinking, where can I get different income from? I want to have multiple income streams coming in so that, say, that advertising stream goes away, I can be like, right, okay, well, I can focus more attention onto this income stream and hopefully bring that up to equal my ad income. If that does go away, I mean, it shouldn't go away, but you know, I'm kind of like a worst case scenario type person. I'm always trying to think of, well, what could go wrong here? And then that way, you know, it's a pleasant surprise if it doesn't go wrong. So the other places where my money comes from, talking about the blogging side of things particularly, are this YouTube channel, which doesn't make me a whole lot of money, to be honest with you. I love doing it. It's really interesting and it's something that I would love to build on, but the return for like the adverts that are on here isn't particularly high for me at the moment, just because you know, this is a smaller channel. It doesn't have that many subscribers, it doesn't get that many views, and that is because, you know, I don't put more time into it. If I had more time to put into it, you know, hopefully I could make it grow and get those views up and get more money from the adverts that are placed on my YouTube videos. But at the moment, as I've said, like my primary focus has been my blog, because that has been where I've been able to generate the most income. So YouTube sort of takes a back seat, but it still makes me money, just maybe only about 5%, say, of my monthly income, so it's not very much at all. And the other place where my blog makes me money is with affiliate income. So affiliate income is quite up and down. I earn more from it than from YouTube, a lot less than from advertising. So just to explain what affiliate income is, I will place links to products, say for example on Amazon, on my blog. If people click through that link and then purchase that product or any other product from Amazon after clicking that link, then I get a cut of the sale. It doesn't cost the person who's clicked the link anymore, but I get a cut of that sale. So that probably makes me maybe about 10 to 15% of my monthly revenue. So it's like, it's well worth having. My main affiliate partner is Amazon, and they don't pay like great. So for example, I might sell thousands of pounds worth of products through my Amazon affiliate links and get paid like 100 quid. Like, and we're talking like thousands and thousands of pounds worth of products. So the return versus like how much you've sold for them isn't particularly high, but it's worth doing. And I have other affiliate companies that I work with that perform a bit better. Like, you know, you'd get say a 40% return on any sales you make through those affiliate links, and it's just kind of, it's one of those things, as I said, that fluctuates quite a lot, but it's another thing that I'd like to grow on this year if I can find the time. And this is the real limiting factor for me. It is time. Time is very precious when you're working from home, and also you have kids who are not in school and nursery who you need to homeschool. So you kind of really need to prioritise. And at the moment, for the last year that we've been going through, the difficulties, I'm not going to say the P word, but the difficulties that we've been going through for the last year, I've had to focus very much on just sustaining what is working rather than trying to grow what I would like to see do better. So sustain what's working and focus on the kids as being the most important thing. for obvious reasons, because, you know, this situation that we're in is just insane. Anyway, I've gotten off track now. So going back to the final thing that makes me money from my blog, which is sponsored posts. So that is where a company would pay me to write about their product on my blog, and do a video on YouTube, do something on my Instagram feed. And that is very hit and miss. Some months I will make really good money from that, and some months I will make nothing at all. And part of my problem with making money from sponsored posts is I'm very, very picky about who I'll work with. And so I think I had at least maybe not many, but say one approach a month last year where I was like, there's no way I'm working with that company. It's not a brand that I would ever buy. It's not a brand I would ever use. And that would just be kind of dishonest. So I am picky about that. I think in terms of blogging, it's a personal choice how picky you are about who you work with. I'm in the fortunate position where sponsored posts aren't the primary source of my income, so I can afford to be picky, and I've just made that choice that I would rather only sell the stuff that I can really get excited about, because I find if I try and create content about things that I'm not passionate about, that I'm not excited about, the content is rubbish and I have a dreadful time making it. So the best thing that I can do is just concentrate on working with the brands who I would use anyway, who I can be passionate about, who I can get really excited about when talking about them to other people. So for that reason, sponsored income fluctuates quite a bit, but some months it's really good. And again, that's another one I'd like to build on this year, but I think it's quite challenging because there's so many influencers, bloggers on the market, and you know, I may not necessarily be the right fit for all of those companies. So it's difficult, you know, you have to find a company, a brand that will be the right fit and also has the budget to pay you for your time, which is another challenge. Okay, so moving on from the blogging work, there are also other ways that I make income. Now, some of these have been hit really, really hard in the last few years. So I've worked as a freelance PR consultant, helping companies such as restaurants and bars and publishing companies, all sorts of different type of companies, like individuals who work for themselves, like, you know, freelance consultants that want a bit of help with their website and their PR. So all sorts of different people, and I advise them on their website, their social media content, getting themselves out there, doing press releases, getting coverage in the media. Unfortunately, in the last year, that sort of work has very much died away from me quite a lot, and because I haven't been particularly focused on going out and chasing it, I haven't had a lot back, just because, you know, with the kids at home, I don't want to suddenly bring on a whole load of new clients and not be able to do the work for them or do work on the other stuff that I'm passionate about, like my blog. So I've had to prioritise, and I haven't been pitching at all to find new work in that area. I'm hoping towards the end of this year, as things start to get more normal, that I might be able to build up that bit of the business again. But I am quite focused on my blog, and I do really, really want that to continue to be my primary source of income, just because I enjoy it so much and it's such a great, like, flexible work opportunity. And then the other way that I make money from home is with freelance writing. So a company will approach me and say, we'd like you to write an article for us or some blog posts for our blog, and I'll write that content for them. They'll normally tell me what they want. Sometimes I'll pitch to them and say, would you like this? I'll write that content and send it over to them, and they then deal with putting it on their website. And I really like that because that's really, really close to what I used to do as a journalist in my full-time job. So that is really, really like fun for me, and you get to sort of get your teeth into all sorts of different projects, which is great. And I would really, really recommend freelance writing to you if you are looking for a way to make money from home. It's actually just such a good avenue to do it, because there's so many companies out there that need a freelance writer, whether it be for their blog content, or if they have an in-house magazine, or they want to do a newsletter out to their customers, whatever. There's just so many different possibilities, as well as the media, you know, newspapers, online outlets that you can write for. And I think whether you want to write like informative posts or opinion pieces that might say go in the Metro opinion column, there's just a ton of different things, different avenues you can do, and you don't have to have experience as a journalist in order to do it. You have to have a good grasp of English, and you have to have good ideas, because some of these places will want you to pitch their ideas before they commission you to do it. I have to say, it's a really, really good option if you want flexible work from home. Okay, so those are the different ways that I work from home. And before I carry on, I just wanted to say that one of the things that I'm trying to do in order to just like increase the income that I'm generating and just kind of broaden out what I'm doing a little bit more is I've started a second website which is focused on how to work from home, tips for working from home, tips for balancing your budget when, you know, you're maybe trying to build up your work at home business and it's not quite at the point where you're making a full-time income. So it's all about saving money, making money, and blogging. It doesn't just talk about blogging as a work at home job, it talks about lots of other ideas for working at home. So it's well worth checking that out if you want inspiration for how to make money from home. It doesn't just talk about full-time work that you can do, it also talks about side hustles. So what I'm trying to do with that second blog is get that monetized on Mediavine as well. And the goal would be that that would bring in, I hope, even if it brought in half of the ad income that my first website brings in, that would be amazing for me. Like, it would be incredible. So I'm really working on that. It is nowhere near ready to be monetized yet. It is like, and it needs to be like, but it's one of those things where I know with my first website, I just kept going and I got there. And I know with this website, I can already see it's making gains every single day. So I know if I just keep going on this path, that it is going to work. It just doesn't happen overnight. And that leads me really nicely onto my tips for making money from home. So my number one tip is to just start, just do it. Don't wait for it to be perfect. Don't like procrastinate over it for ages and ages. I wish I'd started a blog years before I did, because I'd sort of worried about like putting myself out there and it being terrible and not understanding how to build a website. And what you need to do is just go for it, do it bad. And even if you do it bad the first time, the second time, the third time, it's over time that you sort of find a voice, you find a rhythm, you find the right way to do things, the best way to do things. Honestly, I look back on some of the content that I created at the beginning and it's dreadful. It is dreadful. And I have a background in like writing and journalism, but it is not good blog content. But I learned as I went on and I progressed, and I've got to this point now where it does make me a full-time income that enables me to work flexibly around my kids, so that with my kids home right now, I'm still earning money, but I'm also putting time into their homeschooling and just trying to keep them happy as best I can at the moment, given the situation that we're in. Do it bad, just get started. Don't worry about being perfect from day one. And my next tip is, like, when it comes to thinking about what you might do, whether it be starting a blog or becoming a freelancer in one particular area, whether it's writing or you want to become a consultant in sort of one particular area, or maybe you want to make products and sell them on Etsy. Whatever it is, think about what your skills are and also think about what your passions are and make use of those. Like, everyone has got a talent, everyone has got something that they are like really, really good at. So just analyze what you're good at and use it. It is totally possible to make an income out of what you're passionate about. Another really, really important tip is to accept that it will take time to build your income up, to build a business, which is what I have done over the years. It takes time, it does not happen overnight. It has taken me nearly 4 years to get to this stage where I am. Now, I would say that in the first year, I really wasn't focused on making it into a money-making blog. I was just focused on like a bit of a hobby, having a bit of fun. I've been way more intentional in the last 2 years, and that has paid off. So I think if you start with determination, with a very clear plan, and with a mind open to learning constantly about what the best practices are in the sort of area where you're going to work. So if that's blogging, have an open mind where you are prepared to learn about SEO, learn more about Pinterest, learn more about how you can use social media. Start with that like determination and just keep going, keep going. If you find that a particular thing you're doing isn't working and it's been a long time that it hasn't been working, think about how you can change it. There's a ton of information out there about any career that you're trying to pursue, or any money-making career that you're trying to pursue. So have a look at what you can be doing differently. How can you change it? How can you make it better? What different strategy could you adopt? But like, above all things, be really, really persistent, because the persistence pays off. And I know it does, because it has for me. Okay guys, I really, really hope that you enjoyed this video. It's given you some inspiration for working from home, an idea of maybe what you could do. If you have any questions at all, please leave them in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you on the next upload. Bye.